Alright, here we go. Testing 1, 2, 3. Okay. Alright, what the heck's going on? This is Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar, your net control station for the Worldwide Pride Net, also known as the Pride Radio Group Net. We're going to begin in just a moment. I'm currently sorting out an audio issue at the moment. Working on it as we speak. Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar. What the heck?
Node 2105.
Alright, Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar testing. Alright, before we carry on with the net, could I get a audio check from anyone? This is KJ7OMO, your net control station, looking for an audio check.
Sounding pretty good there, Kimberly. NWD0 VHF.
Alright, thank you much, KJ7 OMO. We'll start the net here in just a sec. Alright, we're just gonna do a quick audio check of the Echolink node to make sure it's up. Yeah, one of our nodes is notorious for randomly shutting down, or not shutting down, but randomly disconnecting. Alright, we're gonna get started. This is KJ7OMO. By the way, if you're connected to the Pride Echolink conference, there seems to be a issue with it at the moment. My audio is making it through, but it looks like audio from the conference isn't making it back. So, for those who are on the Echolink, Pride Echolink conference, I recommend you QSY to KJ7OMO-Lima, Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar-Lima. There is a problem with the Pride Echolink conference at the moment. Hello and welcome to the Worldwide Pride Net, also known as the Pride Radio Group Net. I'm Kimberly Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar, your net control operator. My pronouns are she, her. This net is a round table for general discussions and friendly chats. Please direct all calls through the net control station. We meet every Sunday at 2 a.m. Coordinated Universal Time. Before we begin, is there any emergency or priority traffic? Alright, it seems like we have a issue with my Echolate link node, so one moment while I give it a good old kick. Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar. Oh my goodness, we have gremlins! Hey, what the heck's going on? Why is that? Oh my god! How in the heck did that music started playing? Alright, I got it sorted. What the? Hang on, why is this music playing? Sorry folks, I'm having a little, some difficulty here. Alrighty folks, I'm gonna go ahead and reboot my nodes, so you're gonna get disconnected for a moment, but don't worry, you'll be able to reconnect here in probably less than a minute. Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar, restarting the network.
Node 2105.
Test 1 2, test 1 2. Alright, Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar, returning. Hopefully the network reboot has solved the issues with my node. Before we continue with the net, could any of you who had issues connecting please come back to confirm that our our connections are working?
Setting you down here anyway. Okay, 2 TTY.
Alright, thank you. It looks like we're on the up and up. Alright, let's start this over. Hello and welcome to the Worldwide Pride Net, also known as the Pride Radio Group Net. I'm Kimberly Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar, your net control operator. My pronouns are she, her. This is a roundtable for general discussions and friendly chats. Please direct all calls through the net control station. We meet every Sunday at 2 a.m. Coordinated Universal Time. Before we begin, is there any emergency or priority traffic? If there is an emergency at any time, please say break break and we will assist you promptly. This net provides a safe place for members of the LGBTQIA+ community and their allies to connect over the airwaves. It is open to all licensed amateur radio operators without the need for membership. We also welcome third-party traffic. Speaking of memberships, the Pride Radio Group fosters an inclusive environment for learning, experimenting, and enjoying radio communications. We encourage, promote, and support diversity within the wider radio community. We share our experiences and knowledge, celebrate Pride on the air, and welcome all individuals. To learn more about the Pride Radio Group, join us and gain access to our Discord chat room. Visit prideradio.group. That is prideradio.group. Or check out Victor Kilo 3 Papa Romeo Golf or Kilo 3 Papa Romeo Golf on QRZ. Membership is free and all are welcome, regardless of who you are and who you love, unless you harbor hatred towards us, of course. This net is being relayed on the Pride Radio Network and its affiliated systems, including All-Star, Echolink, IRLP, DMR, YSF Reflector, WiresX, M17, NXDN, P25, D-Star, and Zello. It is also streamed live on Broadcastify, Icecast, and my YouTube channel, searchable by my call sign Kilo Juliet 7 Oscar Mike Oscar. For information on how to connect to this network or access our live streams, visit PrideRadioNetwork.com. That is PrideRadioNetwork.com. You can also track and follow this net by downloading NetLogger for Windows, Linux, or Mac OS from netlogger.org. NetLogger allows you to log into the NetView real-time call signs and actively participate. For Android and iPhone users, you may download On Air NetScraper instead. Now, before we start tonight's net, does anyone have news, announcements, or other items to share with the net and the Pride Radio Group? Alrighty, let's move on to check-ins for the Worldwide Pride Net, also known as the Pride Radio Group Net. We'll begin with mobile stations, those short on time, and those who plan to participate briefly. If you fall into any of these categories, please come forward with your call sign slowly, twice, and phonetically. Feel free to share your pronouns as well. This is Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar, standing by for check-ins for mobile, short on time, and in and out stations. Alrighty, hearing no response, let's take check-ins from anyone, anywhere. If you'd like to join the Worldwide Pride Net, also known as the Pride Radio Group Net, please provide your call signs slowly, twice, and phonetically. You may also share your pronouns if you wish.
This is
I know who that is.
KC3 VIU, Kilo Charlie 3, Victor
I know who that is.
TV, share pronouns.
Kilo Charlie 3 Victor India uniform got you down. Who else is out there wishing to check in?
Whiskey Bravo 0, Victor Hotel Foxtrot, WB 0 VHF, Evelyn in Bloomington, Minnesota, she, her.
Whiskey Bravo 0 Victor Hotel Foxtrot got you down. Who else is out there wishing to check in?
G'day, Victor Kilo 2, Tango Tango Yankee, Garth checking in from Newcastle, VK2 TTY.
Victor Kilo 2, Tango Tango Yankee, got you down. Good to... it's good that you finally got your license to transmit. Welcome to the ham radio hobby. Who else is out there wishing to check in? Alrighty, do we have any additional stations wishing to check in before we get started? This is Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar, standing by for more check-ins to the Worldwide Pride Net, also known as the Pride Radio Group Net. Alrighty, folks. If you're not able to check in via voice, you're welcome to check in via Netlogger. You can check in via the YouTube live stream. You can also check in via Discord if you're part of the Pride Radio Group Discord server. You can also check in via WinLink. Just send your check-in to my call sign on WinLink, and I will get you in there. You can also check in via Mastodon. My Mastodon handle is at KJ7OMO at mastodon.radio at Kilo Juliet 7 Oscar Mike Oscar at mastodon.radio. You can also email me your check-in. My email is kj7omo at gmail.com, Kilo Juliet 7 Oscar Mike Oscar at gmail.com. If you happen to know my private social media links, you could check in via that as well. And if you're not yet a licensed amateur radio operator, I highly encourage you to study for your amateur radio exams and get your license, because you're missing out on the fun if you don't. Alrighty, folks. Let's, with that out of the way, let's toss the mic over to Kilo Charlie 3 Victor, India Uniform, Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar.
Greetings, all. This is KC3VRU. Going to offer a quick sorry. My ability to speak seems to be compromised this evening, but I wanted to offer an opportunity for a guest check-in here on the net. Give me one moment, please.
Oh, I wonder who the third party is. Hello, Xantex, welcome.
Okay. Sorry, unavailable at the moment. Yeah, I'm going to keep it short this round. Just feeling a little dizzy at the moment, so back to net control. This is KC3VIU.
KC3VIU from KJ7OMO returning. Not a problem. You're not the only one that's feeling weird. I got my COVID shot yesterday, and it's really kicking me in the butt today, but I'm powering through it, and I should be fine. I mean, don't mind me if I'm stumbling around my words or something, because it's, yeah. Woo! Okay. Up next is Whiskey Bravo 0 Victor Hotel Foxtrot Kilo Juliet 7 Oscar Mike Oscar. Go ahead and take it.
Well, good evening, Kimberly, or good whatever time of the day it is, since we've got some folks from tomorrow on the net here. Evelyn in Bloomington, just kind of relaxing here still. About 2.5 weeks post-op. Things are going great and whatnot, but I'm taking it easy as it is, just to not overstress things. and certainly enjoying the time here, though unfortunately I think we have the white fungus, otherwise commonly known as snow, arriving right now. Hopefully it doesn't last too long, either in the precipitating phase or the staying on the ground phase that goes away again. But you never know. In Minnesota, we can have all sorts of weather. With that, we'll see what we have next round. WB0 VHF.
WB0 VHF KH87 OMO returning. Well, congratulations on the surgery, and I am so happy for you that it has been a success. And I do wish you a speedy recovery, of course. But yeah, take it easy, and yeah, and just enjoy. Up next is Victor Kilo 2 Tango Tango Yankee from Kilo Juliet 7. Oscar Mike Oscar, over to you.
Thanks, KJ7OMO. Yeah, I've got not much to report except that I'm now allowed to transmit. That's nice. Set up an APRS beacon, but can't quite get the SDR working to receive on that. So I'll have to jack that into an HT or something. And I'm mid-soldering my TRU SDX, which I'm hoping I'll be able to transmit and be heard on single sideband. That'll be fun. But yeah, here's snow, Evelyn. Down here the problem is more sunburn. Leave you to it. KJ7OMO, back to you. BK2 Tango Tango Yankee.
Victor Kilo 2 Tango Tango Yankee from Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar returning. Well, once again, congratulations on finally receiving your ham radio license, and once again, welcome to the ham radio hobby. We're always happy to hear new voices on the airwaves, and good on you on the True SDX. Hopefully that'll work out for you. Yeah, you're not the only one with a kit radio. I mean, I have a kit HF rig as well. It's a Micro BitX. It's just a 10-watt kit that I had to assemble, from parts. But it's not a bad little rig. It's just sad that I only get that it only puts out 10 watts. But hey, it's better than nothing. It does get me around the world, just with more difficulty. Alrighty, we're at the bottom of the list, so we're gonna start taking some additional check-ins. We have third-party traffic from YouTube listener Xanatex. Welcome aboard. Hopefully you're still working on your amateur radio license. All right. Do we have any additional check-ins to the Worldwide Pride Net, also known as the Pride Radio Group Net? All I need are your call signs slowly, twice, and phonetically, and you're welcome to share your pronouns if you'd like. Alrighty, do we have any additional check-ins before we get it back up to the top? This is Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar, standing by for additional check-ins to the net. Alrighty, looks like we got a couple people on Discord here. One of them's having issues. Hopefully we'll hear those two on the air here shortly. But for now, let's get KC3 VIU back on the air. KJ7OMO.
This is KC3VIU. Yeah, I actually have a silent third-party check-in. The cat, otherwise known as Bishop, was over here sniffing the microphone just a second ago, and but she's not purring loud enough to be heard at the moment. So, yeah. As far as other things going, I'd mentioned last week about some, or 2 weeks ago about some health concerns, and it's like kind of status quo with that, but otherwise, kind of hold my own. And I was just kind of wondering, because it's become a recent interest of mine and a little off the radio topic, but the animated cartoon show Daria has recently come into my radar, and it's like I'm really getting a lot of enjoyment about it from watching it and whatnot. It's just like really a whole lot of fun for me. Just wondering if anybody else out there has felt the same way. I'm going to go ahead and send it back to Net Control, KC3VIU, back to KJ7, OMO.
KC3VIU, KJ7, OMO returning. Yes, anime. That's not really a thing that's up my alley, but yeah. Okay, sorry, my brain short-circuited, so, I lost my train of thought. Alright, we're gonna kick it over to WB0VHF from KJ7 OMO.
Okay. Well, for the VK station there, I was on a different net earlier tonight that also has Echolink coming in, and there's some VK check-ins on that one. They were reporting a temperature just slightly warmer than we were. They were 30.5, and I was 28 at the time. Of course, that's Celsius versus Fahrenheit, so it's just a little bit more in terms of actual feel there. Yeah, give us 6 months. We'll turn the tables on you a little bit anyway. It's this time of the season. In Minnesota, we talk about White Christmas with snow on the ground. I say, well, here it's not a White Christmas unless there's snow falling on Christmas Day. That's how often we get it, but I guess it's just part of living here. You gotta get used to it. And we'll swing back to the net to see what comes up next time around. WB0 VHF.
WB0 VHF from KJ7 OMO returning. Roger that. No comment at the moment, so we'll toss it back to VK2 TTY from KJ7 OMO.
KJ7 OMO, VK2 TTY here, yeah. Well, I'm currently, with the Microbit X, did you end up soldering that yourself? I'm clearly having to learn a lot about soldering from scratch, not just tinning these pads. I've proven quite adept at filling the holes with solder and then being unable to push leads through. One thing at a time though. Next up it's going to be wiring toroids, I think, which is a whole nother skill set that I'll have to learn from scratch. Anyway, heap of fun just getting everything set up here again for sitting down and getting a bit of soldering on while I listen to the rest of the net. VK2 TTY, back to you, KJ7 OMO.
VK2 TTY KJ7 OMO returning. Yeah, when it comes to soldering, you don't want to fill the holes up with solder first before you put the component in. You want to put the component in first, and then you solder it in there. Otherwise, you're going to have a hard time. And remember, folks, flux is your friend when it comes to soldering. That makes life a lot easier. But yeah, as for the Micro BitX, I didn't have to solder anything to it. All I did was assembled everything together, like a jigsaw puzzle, and I was up and running. Of course, if I wanted to modify it and do some soldering after the fact to modify it, I can. I mean, it is an open source radio after all. That's the neat thing about the Micro BitX. And I believe the True SDX is also an open source radio too. On my Micro BitX, I swapped the included display with a Nextion display, and then I flashed a third-party firmware to it from I don't remember his call sign, but he's got some fantastic firmware for it. So, yeah, I put that firmware in there. Anyways, we're at the bottom of the list, so let's see if we have any additional check-ins to the Worldwide Pride Net, also known as the Pride Radio Group Net. If you'd like to check into the net and join in on the fun, and join the Rag Chew, all I need from you are your call signs slowly, twice, and phonetically, and you're welcome to share your pronouns if you like. If you're just wanting to quickly check in and check out, you're welcome to do that as well. This is, once again, KJ7OMO, and I'll stand by for additional check-ins to the net. Oh boy, looks like it's all crickets out there at the moment. Nobody else wanting to check in right now. Hi. That's alright. We're gonna send it right back to KC3VAU, KJ7OMO. It's your turn again.
This is KC3VIU. Yeah, hey, I was listening to a YouTube podcaster, if you will. I'm not sure exactly what they call them anymore. Yeah, YouTube channel. It's a transgender woman out of Philadelphia, Fran. I think the thing is called Fran Labs. Mine just temporarily left me, and I hate it when it does that. But at any rate, she was talking about her adventures with Heathkit, and she first learned to solder there, I think she was saying like about 1974, which puts her solder skills, the time when she first started soldering, about a year and a half behind mine, in advance of mine, I should say. But she was learning how to solder at the Heathkit in one of them in Norristown, Philadelphia, and they, as part of the Heathkit process, they made kits for all kinds of electronics, including amateur radio and televisions and just every little sort of thing. They would offer support, like if you were building your kit and you ran into trouble, you'd bring it in, and hopefully before you toasted anything, they would look at it and help you troubleshoot it. Well, there was an individual who brought in a TV or some other thing that he was working on, and was very meticulous, insisted like, no, I followed the instructions very well and stuff like that, but I guess more from a visual perspective. And instead of soldering, he used Elmer's glue for all the connections. And they said, well, it looks absolutely beautiful. It was functionally useless. So anytime I hear anybody talk about, like you were saying about solder, make sure to put the component in first, and it's like I think about that and think these solder joints must have been those like perfectly little wet connections. The shape was good and everything, and you look at it, and it's like it's not solder. So, oh my word, she tells a tale of that in one of her I keep wanting to say podcast, but it's a YouTube channel video kind of thing. But anyway, yeah, it was. I nearly lost it. Anyway, before I get bitten here, KC3VIU, back to net control, KJ7, OMO.
KC3VIU from KJ7, OMO returning. Yeah, don't get bit by that alligator. Hi, hi. Well, that is quite interesting that she created that she put together what basically is a huge paperweight from a kit. She must have not done something right or something. Hey, at least it's a pretty looking paperweight, right? Alright, WB0 VHF KJ7 OMO, over to you.
Okay. Yeah, Fran Blanche, Fran Lab. She's got a wonderful collection of videos out there of all types. Historical stuff, current science news. If you haven't looked her up, got to check her out. She's not an amateur radio operator, but otherwise she's one of us. And she's doing a great job out there. And that wasn't her project there, Kimberly. That was somebody else that brought something into the Heathkit store where she was getting her soldering training. So, yeah. Anyway, wow. Now my turn for loss of words here. I'm sure I'll come up with something for next time, though. It's so nice just to be able to relax and gently recover here with no other pressures going on. So we'll take whatever we get. And WB0 VHF.
WB0 VHF KJ7 OMO returning. Yeah, copy that. It's so nice when something is peaceful and quiet and you could, enjoy yourself with nothing going on. And, yeah, thanks for the correction there. Okay, so somebody brought her something in that they didn't do right. So she had to basically redo it for them. Gotcha. Yeah, it would be really, really, really nice if, if we could somehow infect her with the ham radio bug. Hopefully one day she'll consider becoming a ham. Alright, VK2 TTY KJ7 OMO, back to you. Let's hear about your progress with the soldering. Or whatever else you'd like to say.
So no, because it's TTY. Yeah, I'm still trying to get myself set up here. Gotta say, glue is tempting. I swear that would be easier to accomplish. But I think just for the purpose of getting on the air, I might stick with the solder. But yeah, glue, yikes. Anyway, I don't really have anything much, so I think I'll just head it straight back. Sorry. VK7 OMO, VK2 TTY.
VK2 TTY KJ7 OMO returning. Alright, no worries. Alright, folks, we're at the bottom of the list, so let's see if we have anybody else out there wishing to join us on the Worldwide Pride Net, also known as the Pride Radio Group Net. If you'd like to join, all I need is your call sign slowly, twice, and phonetically, and you're welcome to share your pronouns if you like. This is Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar, your net control station, and I'm standing by for additional check-ins.
Kilo 7, November Whiskey Uniform, KK7 NWU, Pete, and I am a he and they. Good evening, Kim. Good evening, all.
KK7 NWU, Kilo 7, November Whiskey Uniform. Got you down. Good to hear you again out there. Who else is out there wishing to check in?
KN6NK. Finally got my hotspot working.
Alrighty, I believe I heard Kilo November 6 November Kilo. Got you down. Anybody else out there? Alrighty, we got 2 additional stations out of that. So, we're gonna start with Kilo 7, November Whiskey Uniform from Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar.
Oh, just like that, put me on the spot. I have no idea what if there's even a topic tonight. Just kind of here. I put in a 10-hour day at work, and now the fun begins because it's my weekend. Back to net, KK7 NWU.
KK7 NWU from KJ7 OMO returning. Yes, we did put you on the spot with a great big spotlight shining right at you. And there's a hot seat right there with your name on it. Hi. Alright, next person to be put in the spotlight and also the hot seat is Kilo November 6 November Kilo. This is KJ7 OMO. Over to you.
Yes, the seat is indeed hot. I don't know, just sitting here in my mess of a home office / workbench area with stuff scattered all about and trying to figure out what to work on next. So yeah, that's me, KN6NK.
Alright, welcome aboard, KN6NK from KJ7 OMO. By the way, your audio is just a bit on the low side, but other than that, you're coming through. Alright, before we kick it back up to the top, was there any other station wishing to check in? Alright, I didn't think so. KC3VIU, KJ7 OMO, we'll kick it back to you.
This is KC3VIU. Yeah, hey, Fran Blanche. Now I got, for a moment, my brain was completely fogged. Yeah, she's an amazing lady. I discovered her shortly into when COVID started up here, and she was really bright. She's been inducted as a Hall of Fame, I think it was Hall of Fame member or something like that, of the IEEE. And I mean, she's really good. I'm a Patreon for her. so my name comes up in the credits at the end since it's almost 2 years now. In fact, it probably is 2 years now. But I didn't realize she was trans. I just was listening to her, and I'm like, there's something unusual about her. And this is just after I had come to realize who I was. And it was like, oh my goodness, there's somebody, and then find out she's like in Philly, and it's like, oh, this is so cool. And this is like at the time when I really was, I'm going to say, aware of, only people that were on not Discord, Reddit, those trans folk, and to find out that there's somebody who's, quote, famous, unquote, and trans and in Philly, was like, oh my god. And yeah, she's cool. I really do like her YouTube channel, and the videos she makes. As said, she equally embraces a lot of modern stuff, but really all the old classic like displays, technology. She's helped work on things with Adam Savage and his crew. It's very impressive, the things she's done. So yeah, I think it'd be fun to get her into the amateur radio community. That definitely would be huge. So I'm going to go ahead and send it back. This is KC3VIU back to KJ7 OMO.
Yeah, KC3VIU, KJ7, OMO returning. Yeah, copy that. Well, we should definitely, let her know about the Pride Radio Group and, who we are, what we do, etc. And hopefully that would be enough to, ignite that spark and get her to consider the hobby. Yeah, we'll see what happens. But yeah, I've watched her videos from time to time, and she is such an amazing YouTuber. Yeah, she's got all sorts of fun stuff in her lab that she's always working on. Alrighty, WB0 VHF KJ7 OMO, over to you.
Yeah, another friend, patron here. Not quite as long. I think it was probably maybe a year ago or so that I was introduced to her by actually the net that precedes this, the net control from a local net that runs 7 o'clock Central Time. I was chatting with him, and he had pointed me in her direction as I was coming out. Yeah, amazing woman. Her stuff with the Frantone pedals and such in the music industry, and her knowledge of all things, it seems. Man, it seems like it's hard to stump her on technical topics there. And on the Heathkit side, she just had a viewer mail here. I don't know if it's made publication. I don't know. It came out for patrons that somebody had sent her a Heathkit metronome, and the interesting deal was the volume control was a mechanical volume control. They had a electromagnetic deal there that was pulling in and clacking onto a piece of metal, and you adjusted how far away that metal was from that to determine how loud or how quiet it was. Some of the interesting things that Heathkit put together that she's come across here too and points out is just fascinating. We'll let her go at that for this go round. WB0 VHF.
WB0 VHF KJ7 OMO returning. Now that is quite interesting. A mechanical metronome with a mechanical volume control. Very interesting. I don't know much about music, but I do know, just barely enough to know the basic things. Every now and then I'll mess with a few digital audio workstations that are music related, and sometimes I mostly put together you know just a small looping track or something, but I don't really do much besides that. But yeah, I do mess around with music sometimes in the making of some, but I'm nowhere near being a pro at it. All right. Back to VK2TTY from KJ7OMO.
Yeah, thanks, Net Control. Wow, mechanical volume control. Yeah, I was listening to someone the other day talking about using mechanical filters. I can't remember what the benefit was, but definitely mechanical filters in HF radios for some kind of a win. Sounds like fun. Reminds me of a measurement device I saw, which was it looked like a harmonica, but it had a whole bunch of reeds in it, which of different lengths, but all sort of ending flush with the surface of the unit, and you would you just sort of park it on a piece of equipment and look at which of the reeds in it were vibrating the most extremely, and it was like a really quick and easy low audio frequency vibration measurement tool. Not a single chip in it. Just completely mechanical. Loved it. Anyway, that'll do for this round. Back to Net Control, VK2 TTY.
VK2TTY from KJ7OMO returning. So many fascinating and interesting things they make without electronics. Makes me wonder how they done it all before the invention of electronics. Alright, we're gonna kick it back to KK7NWU from KJ7OMO.
Put me back in the hot seat again. It's all good. I was in the hot seat on Thursday with the outdoors net, so the chair's still warm. Pardon me as I dash in and out. I'm currently researching this little Lunar Electronics VHF amp that I just got in the mail today. So I'll be here and there and everywhere as we research a new toy in the lab. KK7NWU, back to net.
KK7NWU, not a problem. Have fun doing your research. Back in the hot seat now is KN6NK from KJ7OMO.
I haven't done the net in years. I'm just listening. Back into the woodwork with me. KN6NK.
Alrighty, not a problem. Okay, folks, we're at the bottom of the list, so do we have any additional check-ins to the net before we kick it back up to the top? All I need are your call signs, slowly, twice, and phonetically, and you're welcome to share your pronouns if you wish. This is Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar, standing by for additional check-ins to the net. All right, back to KC3VIU from KJ7OMO.
KC3VIU transmitting. Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and I hope everybody had, for those in the U.S., I hope you had a good Thanksgiving. I did want to say there was a particularly precious moment I wanted to share, and that was that my roommate / girlfriend and I were over at my parents' house, and my mom got a good chance to talk to her long before she came up here, and really found that she liked her. They talked actually, and I handed the phone to my mom because I had to go take care of some, we'll say, necessary paperwork, unquote. She and my mom were chatting up quite a bit, and I came back and actually was going to close up, but she and my mom were still talking, so it's like, that's cool. And when I took her over to introduce, to let them meet her in person and everything, it was really cool. This is like back in April. And my friend has recently lost her aunt, one of the last members of her blood family who continuously remembers who she is and likes her, accepts her for who she is. And I mentioned something to my mom. I said, I don't know if Abigail would say anything, but I said, I think it's really nice that we're all here together, and my mom knew exactly what I was thinking of, and turned to Abigail and opened up her arms and said, "You're family." And we had like a hug, a nice little family hug there. So I thought it was particularly cute, and I've probably said in the past, my parents are still unsure about the name and pronouns and stuff like that, but I know they accept me, and they certainly accept my friends, so that's huge for me too. And I'm not sure if you can ask for a whole lot more as far as things go. It takes everybody a little bit of time to adapt, and I'm certainly a patient person. I thought it was a particularly beautiful moment, so I'm going to go ahead and send it back to Net Control. This is KC3VIU, back to KJ7OMO.
KC3VIU, KJ7OMO returning. Roger that. Well, I'm glad that there is some acceptance, that those folks are accepting of you. Sucks that they struggle with the name and pronouns, but hey, at least, at least they're supportive, so that's good news. My mom's the same way. She's supportive, she's accepting, but she struggles a lot with the name and pronouns as well. So yeah, you're not the only one with that struggle. All right, WB0BHF, back to you, KJ7OMO.
Okay, two disjoint notes here. One, that metronome is actually a transistor-driven metronome, but a fully mechanical volume on it. They were kind of at the point of merging from prior, less electronic-type mechanisms, and only some stuff got converted. And family acceptance. It's been 2 years now. 2 years ago, this Thanksgiving, I was back as myself for the first time with family. It had been a number of years since I'd been able to be back at all. My late wife wasn't able to travel and whatnot for a while, so it was just wonderful to be there. Again, Thanksgiving's a family day for me. And as I was leaving, I was telling my brother, who's 15 years older than I am, that, great time, wonderful to spend time with my family for the holiday, first time in forever. I understand, the issues with the names. He said, I've known you as that since the day you came home from the hospital. But they were trying. So even though they have problems with it, they were trying. I was back for Christmas, and they were much better. I was there in June after that with a friend of mine, and they didn't make a mistake. So family, if they support you, I give them a break. I'm so happy that my family's generally always got it on the ball for the name and pronouns. But if they don't, I know they still have me in terms of their support. So count what you can there. It's a wonderful world to be authentic. WB0 VHF.
WB0VHF KJ7OMO, returning. Yeah, roger that. Well, my mom is it's a complicated situation. In public, she'll get my name and pronouns right, but in private, she refuses to use anything else but my, dead name and I guess you can call it, and my, I guess you can call it dead pronouns, or for lack of a better word. So, I don't know, she's just weird. And when she talks to other families, she'll, I don't know, it's a mixed bag. She'll say my proper name and pronouns to them maybe once or twice, and then after that she goes back to using my dead name and the wrong pronouns again. So when she's talking about me to them, so yeah, it's a complicated situation with her, but yeah, at least I have a supportive mom. All right, back to VK2 TTY from KJ7OMO.
Thanks, Net Control. Yeah, I'm more at the herring end of all this. But it takes a bit of practice, but worth the effort. Anyway, Kilo November, 6 November Kilo. God, that's a great call sign, rolls off the tongue. Oh, yeah. Yeah, purely on the home office mess and, oh, you should keep in mind. Oh, boy. But, yeah, I'm a bit like you. This is my second or third net, and I still have no idea what I'm doing. Anyway, happy to report that I've found some written instructions for what I'm doing, which is always good because seeking back and forth in the video to try and figure out what to do is a bit not to my taste. I get on the YouTubers, but I'd like it some of it to be text and pictures. Alright. Rambling, so I'll hand it back. VK2 TTY, back to you, catch you no.
VK2 TTY from KJ7OMO returning. Alright, copy that. Glad that you were able to find some written instructions. And good luck on the project. KK7NWU. It's your turn again. KJ7OMO.
We'll step back to supportive family for just a second. My husband is an out and proud trans man. And in order for him to get his mother to recognize that he's he, we literally had to put the woman on ice for 2.5 years. And then she came around and uses his correct pronouns. His first name is still the same. The dead name is actually the middle name because his first name is rather... I forgot the word for it. Could go either way. But, yeah, finding supportive family is huge. My parents are working on it. They're supportive, but they still make their mistakes. At least they immediately correct themselves now, which is great. I wish everybody had the support. I really do. It costs nothing to be a decent person. And I wish more people were decent people. Back to net, KK7NWU.
KK7NWU from KJ7OMO returning. You couldn't have said it any better. Couldn't have said it any better. And yeah, sometimes, you gotta do what you gotta do to make somebody address you properly. But yeah. I lost my train of thought. Back to KN6 and the K from KJ7OMO.
I'm just gonna +1 the sentiment of I wish people were better people, and I am so tired of seeing my friends and loved ones being treated terribly. Yeah, that's all I got. KN6NK, back to net control.
Yeah, roger that. A big +1 for me as well on the sentiment. All right, we're at the bottom of the list, so who else is out there wishing to check into the Worldwide Pride Net, also known as the Pride Radio Group Net? If you'd like to join in on the fun, all we need from you are your call signs solely, twice, and phonetically. And feel free to share your pronouns if you like. This is Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar, standing by for additional check-ins to the net. Alrighty, folks, as a reminder, if you are not able to make it in via voice, you're welcome to check in via NetLogger. You can check in via the YouTube live stream. If you're part of the Pride Radio group Discord server, you can check in via that. You can also check in via WinLink by sending a message to my call sign over WinLink. You can also check in via Mastodon. My Mastodon handle is at KJ7OMO, at Mastodon.radio, at Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar, at Mastodon.radio. You can also check in via email. My email is KJ7OMO at gmail.com, Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar, at gmail.com. If you know my private social media links, you could check in via that as well. With that out of the way, back to KC3VIU from KJ7OMO.
I was tuned out for a moment, but I think I heard my call sign. Boy, I hope I'm not out of sequence here. I mean, it makes sense that I would be. Well, some days. It's just, let me step out for just a half second. Yeah, okay, so, I'm going to probably make this my last round for talking. I'll be listening, but it was a good lively discussion, and certainly, I mean, I give my parents a lot of credit. They're both in their 80s, and my mind did a lot of protection to myself. Well, maybe I won't necessarily make this the last one, but anyway, my mind did a lot of protection, things to keep me from realizing who I really was. I did a lot of emulation type behaviors that were often squelched inadvertently or perhaps deliberately. I, from a very early age, was pretty much unapologetically me, but most of that has to do with being a Star Trek fan. I know it sounds like a weird thing to stand up for, but I found that there was a lot of truth in that there was a lot of nobility in the storylines and the overall feelings of what they were trying to do with the Starfleet Federation and dignity and equality for people. And I wouldn't hear anybody bad-mouthing that because of the idealism, even though I wasn't entirely sure who the heck I was at that point, or my brain, the ego would not get the information from id. So, yeah, I understand completely with where people are coming from. I guess I didn't put out many signs to other folks, and so they're kind of surprised. But I had a feeling that, I very much tried to emulate my sister in many ways. I think I had some ideas to what things might be socially acceptable, and so I did end runs around those things to keep myself hidden. But it finally reached a point where I couldn't hide who I was anymore. I felt I absolutely could not go forward another day pretending. And, well, here I am. So, not a finished product yet, but who among us is? This is KC3VIU, back to net control, KJ7 OMO.
KC3VIU, KJ7 OMO. Did you wanted to check out?
Yeah, I tell you what, let me go ahead and do that. I'm going to be listening for sure for quite some time, and then I can always check back in if I need to. So yeah, 3373 to folks. I'm feeling just a little tired, so to be sure I don't fall asleep on you and then leave you guessing. 7333. This is KC3VIU over to KJ7 OMO, and I'm clear.
KC3VIU from KJ7 OMO returning. Alright, not a problem. 3373 and all the numbers to you, and you have yourself a wonderful night. WB0VHF KJ7 OMO, over to you. Oh, I meant to touch on the Star Trek stuff. That's okay.
I should probably step out here, too. I've got this required maintenance, body maintenance here that I've got to do multiple times a day right now, and I'm a little bit behind because I've been on net since, 2.25 hours ago, I guess, is when I started there. But we're never a finished product. We're always developing there, so good to hear that you're on your way there. I missed the name for the last station, but just keep moving, and it gets better. It does. It gets better all the time. That's been my experience. And Garth down VK land there, good luck on all the projects. Just take your time on learning how to do things. That's part of the joy of all of this amateur radio stuff, is that we get to learn and do things that other people have never even heard of. So, best of luck on the soldering and the winding of the toroids and all the parts there. And everyone have a great week. I don't know if I can check in next week or not. I'm not sure if I've got a conflict I'm getting healthy enough. I'm starting to go out and do things, and I'm off and out doing things on Friday or Saturday nights here. So we'll see how that works out. But I'll probably be listening along, but won't be able to check in because my hands are going to be busy doing other things. 33. This is Evelyn, WB0 VHF.
WB0 VHF from KJ7 OMO returning. Alright, well, you have a wonderful rest of your night. 3373 and all the numbers to you, and thanks for hanging out with us. Always good to have all of you on the air. And I want to real quick touch on something that Phoebe KC3VA you brought up. That was Star Trek, and yes, Star Trek has always been a very progressive show, for its time. I mean, it really started getting progressive in the Next Generation, and then it carried on from there. So, yeah, I've always known it to be a progressive show, and yeah, it's just a fascinating show. And even though I don't know much about the Star Trek universe, I'm still a big fan, and I still enjoy it. The original series, I don't know, it's a little too cheesy for me, but I do like the Next Generation onwards up to Discovery. I haven't seen Picard yet, haven't seen DS9 or any of the other post TNG and pre-Discovery yet, but I'll get there eventually. Alright, VK2TTY, KJ7OMO, back over to you.
Yeah, thanks, KJ7OMO. Live long and prosper, KC3VIU. And thanks for the kind wishes, Whiskey Bravo Zero VHF. Yeah, no, I've quite liked the some of the tricks. It's all good. And I can't remember whose point it was on having to freeze your parrot out. But yeah, it's one of Dan's of I would advise you just discuss conditions and hold your ground. And yeah, good call. Anyway. Got a fiddly bit of alignment here I'm trying to nut out, so I might hand it back. But, yeah, love you all. KK2TT out. Back to you, KJ7OMO. Excuse me.
VK2TTY, KJ7OMO returning. Live long and prosper, indeed. Yes, one of the most famous lines. Love that line. Live long and prosper. All right, KK7NWU. Back to you, KJ7OMO.
I am actually going to call it a night as well. I've been awake since 4 o'clock this morning, and I've been at work since 7:30. I am exhausted. 7-3 to all of you. Have a good night. Back to Nat, KK7NWU.
KK7NWU from KJ7OMO returning. Not a problem. You have a wonderful night. 7-3, and we'll catch you next time. Kilo November 6, November Kilo from Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar. You're back in the hot seat.
KN6NK, indeed I am, and you've got me on a topic that you won't get me to shut up about, which is Star Trek. I've been a long-time fan of Trek, and I've watched a bunch of original series and TNG when I was a kid, and so for the newer stuff, Discovery is indeed very cool. I've heard great things about Strange New Worlds as well, but it's kind of along the spirit of the original series, but just sort of updated. And then, if you are familiar with a great deal of Star Trek lore, as in the history, not the evil brother of Data, Lower Decks is just delightful. So yeah, and if you're going to watch Star Trek Picard, season 1 was pretty decent. Oh, my radio hit the timeout timer. Anyway, yeah, Picard, skip season 2, season 3 is delightful fan service for TNG fans. And I'm going to go ahead and sign off as well. So this is Kilo November 6th, November Kilo, back to Net Control.
Oh my goodness, Strange New Worlds. I have not yet seen that. I'll have to one of these days look it up and see if I can watch it. But, yeah, good info on the Picard series and all that stuff. Yeah, I gotta see if I could tune that in one of these days. But yeah, good to know that there's another Trek fan out there. All right, well, 7-3 to you, and hopefully we'll catch you next time. I'm probably going to I think I'm going to wind things down, but before I do, let's take a peek at Radioland one last time to see if we have additional check-ins. This is Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar, standing by for additional check-ins to the net.
This is VK2 BSD Mobile, Victor Kilo 2 Bravo Sierra Delta Mobile. Repeat, Victor Kilo 2 Bravo Sierra Delta Mobile, Yakov, Sydney, Australia.
Victor Kilo 2 Bravo Sierra Delta got you down. Since you're mobile, we're going to go ahead and turn it on over to you. VK2 BSD KJ7 OMO.
I'm the group from VK2 BSD Mobile. Just out heading across town to a small engagement party. Oh, there goes the police. I don't know if you can hear them here. Yeah, been a while since I've been on air. Been a while since I've been on the Discord as well. I've just spent 2 weeks in South Africa. I didn't get to transmit from there because my license isn't high enough to be valid over there as well. So one of these days I'll either do the extra for the US or the advanced for Australia, or just both. Actually, just do that to upgrade so I can rove around the world and still transmit and chat to people. I did catch some wind of Star Trek discussion while I was driving. Never really watched it myself, although when I was in South Africa I had like a Star Wars pin I was wearing, and someone went, "Oh, is that Star Wars?" I said, "Yeah." And they said, "Oh, you're a Trekkie?" I'm like, "You got the wrong star, mate, really, you just got completely wrong franchise." Yeah, I'll throw it back to you and the group, KG7 OMO from VK2 BSD Mobile.
VK2 BSD KJ7 OMO returning. Yes, so good to hear you again. It's been a while. Hey, don't be a stranger, come back and check in and also do connect to the network from time to time, even if there's no net, just to say goodbye. And don't forget to check in via the Discord as well. But yeah, always good to hear you out there, and do drive safely. I am about to wrap things up, but we'll give you a chance to have another round before I do. Before we do that, however, let's see if there's any additional stations out there before we wrap things up. Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar standing by for additional check-ins. Alrighty, hearing nothing. VK2TTY. Any final transmissions for this week's net? KJ7OMO.
KJ7 OMO. Yeah, nah. I think I'm done too. Have a good one, everyone. VK2 TTY out. Back to you, KJ7 OMO.
Alrighty, VK2TTY from KJ7OMO 73 to you, and thanks for joining in on the net. And once again, welcome to the ham radio hobby. We look forward to hearing you again on the next net. VK2BSD, any final traffic from KJ7OMO?
Unique 7 minutes, tunnel, no further traffic at this time, VK2BSD not off.
Alrighty, not a problem. 7-3, and thanks for stopping by. And do drive safely. Alrighty, folks. We're gonna end it right here, but before we do we have any additional in and out only check-ins to the net? Do we have any final comments from any previously checked-in stations? Alrighty, folks, that concludes our net for today. Thank you all for participating and bringing fun to the airways. I would like to express gratitude to the Waverly Amateur Radio Society for allowing us to use their systems to relay this net. Special thanks to VK3JED and VK2WAY for their contributions, as well as the entire Pride Radio group for making this net possible. I now release all frequencies, repeaters, and other systems back to the regular amateur use. Thank you once again, and 7-3 to everyone from Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar, Mike Oscar. This net is now closed with, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 chickens, including yours truly. Alright, 7-3, and we'll catch you next time. This is Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar, Mike Oscar. Alright, Xenatax, you have a good week as well, and don't give up on your amateur radio exam. Make sure you keep on studying it. Because we really do want to hear you on the air. And also because, yeah, you're missing out on all the fun. Alright, everybody. I'm going to go ahead and shut this live stream down. 7-3, everybody. Be sure to like, subscribe, ring the bell, and all the happy YouTube stuff. Alright, this is Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar saying 7-3, and I am signing off. Have a good day, everyone. Or good evening, good night, good morning, whatever freaking time it is for you. Hi. Alright, we'll catch y'all later.